Welcome back, everyone, to Battle of the Best. We're in our top three right now. We're in our losers bracket finals. So it's going to be D2 and Numberguy. Both of these guys have qualified for BlizzCon. And now it's time to start getting hyped because this is a little glimpse of things to come. We have the World Championships coming up pretty soon. And these two guys on fire so far this tournament. Great lineups, great play. Forsen already in our winners bracket finals. It's a really good position for him to be in. But now everyone has been guaranteed some money at this point. And Frodan is just now joining us. Welcome, Frodan. How you feeling about this one, man? I think this is a close match to call.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be really close, and I like that these two guys are BlizzCon finalists. Excuse me, I was caught off guard by our commercial break there. I thought I had a little bit more time. So, D2 and Numberguy, I think, are two guys that wanted to prove themselves a little bit more to show that BlizzCon wasn't a fluke. And it's also a good insight to show how strong they are going into the weekend. Remember, BlizzCon is just a week from now. Excuse me. BlizzCon is a little bit over a week from now, but the pre-event is this weekend. D2 is actually gonna hop on a plane very soon and fly over here, as well as Numberguy, both from different continents. D2's in Japan. Numberguy is hanging out in Denmark. So it's going to be a really fun time to see these guys here in the action in the studios. In fact, I'm at the ESL studios right now doing the broadcast from getting ready for the pre-event. And it's going to be really fun. I'm just taking this time to plug what's going on here because this, remember guys, on Sunday, excuse me, a week from now, we're going to be having the 16 players play the first group stages here. It's going to be a fun time. Are you going to be in town, by the way, Nathan?
No, for the pre-event, I'm not. I'm still going to be up here in Northern California, but a couple days before BlizzCon, I think, is when they're flying me in. I want to say it was the 6th. It might have been the 8th.
Okay.
I don't exactly remember. Maybe they are.
You should have came anyways.
Yeah, maybe I should. It's not that far
anyways.
it's not that far of a drive. I mean, it's like an hour flight or like a 6-hour drive or something like that.
Do it, bro. Come out here, hang out with the guys, see what happens in the studio.
I will take you up on that invitation.
Sure, of course. And of course, anybody else who wants to kind of view it as well, there's lots of information. Go just battle.net and find out more about what's going on a week from today. In the meantime, D2 versus Numberguy, we see the initial bans. D2 is going to take away that hand lock from Numberguy, which we haven't seen all day from him yet. And Numberguy going to stay consistent, banning out that Hunter, forcing D2 into Warrior, Priest, and Warlock. Now, we haven't seen too much Priest other than Lothar in this tournament, as far as I remember. And it didn't really serve that well for Lothar because the draws weren't lining up. But D2's Priest play yesterday, I felt like was on point. There was a few decisions where maybe you could have taken a different line, but for the most part, I liked his overall decision-making, despite the fact that he lost a very strong matchup in the Freeze Mage versus Warrior. I feel like D2's playing very well.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a couple small points that he's missing, and I still think it's these pressure matches. I'm going to stress this again, D2, if you're listening, pay attention. These pressure matches really can get to him at times. It's like he gets nervous and it'll cloud his vision, and he'll make some pretty significant misplays. But when he's got himself collected and he's really thinking through the game, again, I've practiced with D2. I've spoken with him. He's got a very sharp mind for the game. His lineups are always built really well, and I think that's where he gets his major edge from, is that his decks are always built so well for what he anticipates his opponents are doing. He's got very good reads, but again, he keeps himself cool and under control. I think he's a favorite to win a lot of tournaments. But boy, this is a big one. Again, 2 BlizzCon qualifiers facing off here in this one. I don't know who's going to win, and I want to know who you guys think are going to win. I want to see your predictions. You can tweet at us at Frodan and at That's Admirable. Let us know what you guys think. Because as much as I talk about how nervous D2 gets, I actually think the D2 is I'm picking him to win this match.
I was just brought to my...
Frodan, you're cutting out a little bit with us. You getting possessed again? I think your microphone's still muted.
Hopefully not. Okay, so I was just told that D2 and Numberguy are in the same group for BlizzCon as well.
Oh, geez.
So this is also a sneak peek. Maybe some pre-event storyline. We've got a pre-event already stacked, and that's going to be the group stages. But for the pre-event, I think we've got this battle of the best. See who these guys can get the edge over each other. And the fact that they're matching up earlier does give some more history with percentages like, oh, D2 has never lost to Numberguy. It's like, well, they only played one series against each other. But still, the rivalry intensifies. I like it.
It's got to start somewhere.
Sure.
Yeah, the Lakers and the Celtics didn't always hate each other.
Yes, they did. Yes, they have.
It's just been eternal. And in the beginning, God created the Celtics and the Lakers, and they hated each other.
It always feels destiny for some teams too in esports, right? For a while, it was Evil Geniuses and Team Liquid, but then you have some other strong rivalries. You know, Cloud9 entering into the mix of like one of the top teams across multiple games. You always have Na'Vi and Fnatic and Alliance, like really strong teams overall. Not really too much known about DKMR outside of Hearthstone, and Numberguy doesn't really have a team. Although I've heard some whispers that some big organizations are looking into picking him up. So if you're a team looking to start an organization in Hearthstone, Numberguy is one of the hottest free agents out there, and for good reason. The guy is placing really well. He's really young. He's formidable, and you know, he's very hardworking too. The guy plays lots of Hearthstone. But people just don't know much about it.
Yeah, DKMR. That's actually, they formed because of Hearthstone. That was how they got their start. So, you know, really grassroots in this game, and putting together some, you know, some of the players on their roster I think are weaker than the names you see today. But D2 really putting a big stake in the ground for them. It's huge to be creating your own team and then qualifying for the World Championships. Like, that is not a small task. What is it? We saw there's 20 million people have played Hearthstone. So when you fought your way to the top 16 of 20 million, I don't care how lucky you were. You have to be pretty good to get to that point, because luck alone cannot carry everyone. It certainly can do it over a short period of time, you know, maybe through a game or a series, and sometimes even a tournament. But we're talking ladder top 16 finish, or a Community Cup win, into Stage 1 of BlizzCon, into Stage 2 of BlizzCon, and now fighting there for a $100,000 first prize. That's a pretty big deal to me. And yeah, Numberguy, I think he is a free agent right now. I think this is the guy you would want on your team out there. It's like he's the top 16 in the world right now. Now's the time to pick him up. And Admirable doesn't have a team either.
That's right. Do you have any?
Yeah.
Is there any development in that department at all?
I've had some offers. I've had some offers for things, but nothing too much to, I don't know, my liking at the moment. So
enough,
you know, we'll have to see what develops there. Anyways, I picked D2 to win this. I still want to know who you think is going to win this match.
All right. Oh, that's right. I didn't answer your question. I'm going to pick Numberguy. I think he's young. He's definitely got a great attitude. I've talked to him for about an hour and a half, 2 hours while we were at the BlizzCon European event. And it seemed like the guy has a great head on his head. I think the game's about to get started too. We saw the opening mulligans, but we actually need to see what's going on.
Yeah, we've lost our feed at the moment, so we're trying to get that brought up back on our screens. So you guys should have a feed, from what I understand, though. So we are just we're running a little bit blind. Bear with us here again.
We actually don't know what classes or what the opening cards are. Everyone sees what's going on the first couple of turns, but me and Nate are just like, what's going on? Right now.
Okay, Warrior versus Shaman. So now that you guys have seen the matches, again, let us know what you think. At Frodan and That's Admirable. I want to see some controversy going on. If I don't start a Reddit war that ends in everyone being disgusted with each other, I feel like my job hasn't been done. 2 fiery win axes so far for D2.
Yeah, no creatures though. So as much as it's nice to have options to remove, in the Warriors letting Shaman take the board, which is uncomfortable to say the least, because Shamans, especially with double Doom Hammers and lots of burst, can do some funky things that seem unfair sometimes, because it's like, isn't Shaman supposed to be more control oriented? But when you have the ability to flip the switch, so to speak, the Shaman deck becomes really scary.
Yeah, it can really be a big presence on the board. And something that I want to talk about this last turn from D2, because on turn 2 he chose to armor up instead of developing Fiery War Axe, and I think this is influenced a little bit by how much weapon destruction he's seen, because hands right now for Warrior, they're a lot about making sure that you just get things developed and you can kind of go from there. So I would like to see him actually play Fiery War Axe, because I don't think playing Fiery War Axe is going to discourage your opponent that much from playing Feral Spirit. So I think that's the kind of position you want to be in. We've actually swapped over to Numberguy's point of view. These the streams are a little bit out of sync, but that's just kind of the way it's going to go when both these guys are streaming from different continents. But yeah, I would like to see him develop the Fiery War Axe and kind of go from there, because if he draws anything that's worthwhile, he doesn't want it to get cluttered in his hand. He wants to be able to actually use it straight away. So here, I imagine he's gonna be executing and using a Fiery War Axe here. So coin going to be lost But it's not going to affect his curve very much. It's just a really strong turn from him. It really looked like he didn't have Fiery War. Like, I would be just very surprised to see him like play Fiery War Axe from the middle of his hand if I was Numberguy here. So, I don't know, maybe D2's trying to throw him off a little bit, kind of saying like, hey, you can't predict what's in my hand. You don't know what I have. Let's see what you got.
I also like playing the cards from the far left, too. There's much hand disruption, and you can't keep track of what's going on as best as you can. And, you know, you bring up a good point. Usually the coin as a second player is the most important thing to fix your curve and make sure that you're able to grab the advantage on one turn where it might be the most important. But he doesn't disrupt his flow at all. He's got Sludge Belcher, which is a very problematic card for Shaman. Now he can decisively seize it back. If he takes care of this Azure Drake, there's not really much that Shaman can do outside of a Hex that can easily deal with this Sludge Belcher.
Yep.
Or he picked up at LeaseWeb. It's also an alternative as well.
I think I would like to see Sludge Belcher here. Like, I think if you draw a Hex this early, you're just fine with it. So, like, Cruel Taskmaster can take out the Spell Power Totem. Sludge Belcher can come down. Again, very likely to see a Hex from your opponent in that position. Wow, he's actually just going to Cruel Taskmaster this.
Interesting.
So this also a pretty strong turn. He does have a second Fiery War Axe, so I think this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate you play...
Yeah. See, now this is really weird to me. If he chooses to develop it here, I feel like maybe he realized that this was an inconsistency early on. He's like, yeah, I should have developed that axe because I fell a little bit behind. Like, he took a little bit more damage, I think, than he would have normally. Lightning Storm going to be taking out both of these Cruel Taskmasters. It's not often you get a lot of value from Lightning Storm in this Warrior matchup, but this is certainly a board you can get it on.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that you're playing slightly off curve, but you do have the Execute to slide in.
That's a pretty good one.
So now you have the opportunity to have even a more uncontested board. I don't know if you're saving Execute here.
Oh my gosh.
What...
I'm really surprised by that. I would have thought he just would have Spellbreakered this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought I was leaning more towards Execute in the 5-drop. Because this is your best chance to do it. Your opponent's on the overload turn. You get ahead of whatever's on board, and then you still have one charge of the weapon.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I definitely don't. I don't think it's a bad play by any means. It's a different line than I would have taken.
Oh, sure.
Because the other thing too is your opponent's going into 5 mana, so like, if they use a removal spell on this Spellbreaker, it means they're not playing something like an Azure Drake or a LeaseWeb. And I think you're totally fine with that.
Does LeaseWeb exchanges favor one class over another in this matchup?
I think the classes no, but I think typically when a LeaseWeb exchange happens the way it just happened, that it favors the person who plays LeaseWeb second. Because LeaseWeb usually is sort of like an insight to like, hey, this is one of my strongest plays right now. So if he elects to trade his LeaseWeb away, especially in a position like this, like when he trades away his LeaseWeb, what he's really telling his opponent is that he needs like one of his cards to be more powerful than his opponent's cards and really try to take advantage of that.
Right. Well, unfortunately, there's no like Defender of Argus to give you the slight edge when your opponent LeaseWebs you right back too. So that's usually a way you can use a non-spell way to gain advantage. Numberguy going to use his Earthshock immediately, and that's one way to deal with Sludge Belcher, but look how annoying it is. You have to use 2 cards to kill it. And that is some great moves from the Warrior to climb back onto the board position.
Now, this is another position I'm curious about, is how he's going to want to try to deny a card or maybe overdevelop. So, like, say he uses Spellbreaker here to deny a card. He gets a 4/3 body. He can pick off the Blood Mage from the board then with the Armor Smith. Does he just replace his Fiery War Axe with the Deathbite and take out the 2/4 also? The only thing I don't think there's merit to here is Grommash. I think Grommash needs to be held in your hand for now.
Yeah.
So he's going to forego this Axe charge. I like this play. This is probably what I would have done as well.
Yep.
And I think denying a card right now is like of paramount importance. Like, your opponent's already gotten low on cards. They've shown that they're kind of struggling to deal with cards like Sludge Belcher, and I think this is a really good play.
I think so. And you have Grommash too, so developing the second Deathbite charge here is really nice to start being able to not only threaten to kill whatever is out, but you have a lot to work with the burst. It's just that you don't have many cards to work with.
It's a 1/1 totem. That's probably the worst one to make.
Yeah, he just gets picked off in the crossfire.
Yeah, that Lightning Bolt's a really good pickup too. So Numberguy going to lose his board here, but D2 in a position where if he doesn't draw something kind of straight away, he's going to... Oh, wow. Is he going to Lava Burst here?
Lava Burst
okay,
on
I don't
an
know.
Arbor Smith.
Well, he
No
grabbed
way.
it for a moment. I was like, is he really going to do this? And that's a really... I think that's an important draw for D2 right now. And honestly, I think that probably Sylvanas is a little bit more important than Grommash is. But despite that, he's still got a second Death Fight, so he doesn't feel like he needs to activate his Grommash right away. And Sylvanas is going to come down. This is going to get probably Lava Bursted. I would favor Lava Burst here because Hex is going to be able to hit a bigger minion.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. And you're not going to use like Lava Burst as a way to finish off the warrior unless you have a very overwhelming board. So I think just straight up removal is good.
Yeah, this is the kind of board state that Warrior kind of wants in this Shaman matchup too. Is it wants everything to kind of go 1 for 1 card and then have a really high draw density. There's so many legendaries in this deck. Not a very good turn to draw Brawl. And as much as it hurts to do that, I think that's a pretty good play actually. Just go ahead and use the Death Bite. Try to keep totems under control as much as you can and go from there. Because I think he's going to activate this Grommash probably in the next turn or so. He's seen an Earthshock, he's seen a Hex. I'm sorry, he hasn't seen Hex. He saw Lava Burst. So I think his opponent's getting a little bit low on stuff. There's a second Earthshock out of the way now.
So much
and then
removal being used.
And probably still attacking this this Spell Power Totem with Death Bite. So it sucks that he has to, forego 8 points of damage to his opponent's face, but you kind of got to do what you got to do.
So we're tossing down Grommash this turn? Is that the consensus?
Well, I'm not tossing down Black Knight, I don't think, yeah.
Okay. Well, he is going Black Knight.
I mean, there's a potential that this can pull a Hex or something. Ooh, there's Doomhammer. We've seen the fear of all tournament long of people playing Doomhammer because of cards like Harrison Jones. And he knows that D2's got Harrison Jones in his deck. But Numberguy's got 2 copies of Doomhammer, so it's like, are you just not going to play them? I think you have to play them at some point.
Right. Especially because you have something that challenges the board. You can get away with not using Hex. Yep. You still can use Doomhammer as well, just hitting the face, and then not even have to use it. You just Lightning Bolt, use Flame Tongue, even roll a Totem. You just have to do something to impact the board and not let this Black Knight live.
I don't know if it's a huge problem to let the Black Knight live for a turn or so, but I think he's got some pretty efficient ways to answer it. So I like toteming first, get a little bit more information about what's happening. What if he just rolled a second Spell Power Totem and just Lightning Bolts it straight away?
Sounds good to me.
What an awful hero power that would be. No, he always throws Spell Power Totems.
Everything is 25% chance no matter what. Doomhammer is coming out, but there is no Harrison Jones. At least not yet. And Numberguy, looks like he's still keeping Flame Tongue Totem as a surprise.
Yeah, I would tend to keep Flame Tongue Totem here as well. I think it's good to be able to reserve that damage to continue to fight minions. Alex Straza comes into the hand for D2, and this is probably... I mean, this is almost enough to end the game right here. Numberguy down to 15. He needs a Taunt Totem of some sort. If this hero power does not roll a Taunt Totem, that Deathbite and Grommash is going to put him down to 1 health, and that is not the spot you want to be in.
But 1 health is still so far away if Warrior has used most of his weapons and doesn't have a charger left, and it isn't a Taunt Totem.
Doesn't get a Taunt Totem. Oh my gosh. You know, another option for D2 here is he actually could... Oh, well, now he's going to attack this Flame Tongue Totem. So his opponent down to 1 card, but he is a Flame Tongue Totem. I don't know if this is going to be enough to pull back. This Grommash is going to do a ton of work.
Are you using the Death Bite to kill out the Flame Tongue, or are you using it to hit the face and put him down to 1?
I go for the Flame Tongue here. The Flame Tongue is way too important. Oh, geez. I think what he's thinking about is whether he plays his Armorsmith before or after or at all. Because, like, I mean, he might just want to save the Armorsmith to try to, like, Miracle Brawl in case things get out of hand.
Yeah, only 1 Hex has been used, right? So there is a possibility of a second Hex, and then your opponent plays Fell Spirits, and then his board is really strong, so you still need to keep that Armorsmith maybe as a possibility.
Yeah,
'Cause Armor
I can
Smith doesn't
definitely see
lose well.
saving it. I think I would like playing it here instead, but I definitely can see the merit of saving it.
It is the one damage you might need. if
Oh,
your
and
opponent
there's
has to clear.
Grommash. He's going to go for it. 10 to the dome. Numberguy down to 5. And he does not currently have a way to kill this Grommash. He needs something right here. Haunted Creeper's not going to be it. If he does not roll a Taunt Totem, he is dead this turn. 50-50.
There's no way to increase his chances.
Gets
Oh,
a
he
taunt.
gets it. How do you use your rest of your resources here? Do you kill off Armor Smith on the off chance you might have Cool Taskmaster?
Well, we've seen both Cruel Taskmasters so far. He is going to kill this Armor Smith. Down to 3. And now the Flame Tongue Totem is actually going to threaten this Grommash next turn.
Well, if he draws any form of way to killing it,
There's a Whirlwind, but that's not enough.
Whirlwind!
Oh my god. Killing that Armor Smith might be able to win him this game. If that Armor Smith was still alive, he could attack that Taunt Totem, and then Whirlwind would kill it off.
I want to say
D2
D2 still has Gore Howl in his deck. So
I
he's
think-
got the. He's
I
got
think he
direct
was on
damage
Red
still.
Hell.
Right.
I think what he's thinking about right now is how does he actually recover this game if his Grommash dies? Because he's out of weapons too. He's used both Fiery War Axes. He's used both Death Spites. So outside of a Gore Howl, he doesn't have any direct damage left.
Whoa. That Taunt
game.
Totem deserves a statue. I mean, it is already a statue, but make a statue in honor of the statue.
Azure Drake, I think, is the perfect draw. He needs an extra body on the board, and this nets him a card at the
Feral
same time.
Spirits. Boom!
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Feral Spirits, more taunts, and now he can stall for a long time while building up the board. But how afraid is he of the possibility of a brawl?
I'd like to see him roll a totem here before he decides to attack with everything, so that he can increase his chance to get a Taunt Totem too.
Oh, he
Feral
doesn't get it,
Spirits
so he
coming
has
on
to use
the
Feral
board.
Spirits.
Well, Brawl's going to be a pretty good play here now. I think he needs to save this Doomhammer, but he's worried about Harrison too.
That
Actually,
is a
he has
really
two
tough-
Doomhammers in his deck. He doesn't need to
Yep.
save this Doomhammer. He needs to use it right now.
D2, what does he need right here? He already used both of his Fiery War Axes and his Death Spice, so there's no more weapon damage for that. You just need Gore Howl, perhaps.
Slam's a pretty good one. I would Brawl straight away, and then use Slam to try to finish it. The only card you're worried about winning this Brawl is the Azure Drake.
That is 1 out of 7. What are the odds? 1 out of 7.
Oh, geez.
It's a little over 13%, which it can
All right.
happen.
Here we go.
May the best man win.
Azure
Oh,
Drake
well, a
took
Drake
out
spotted.
very
No
early.
taunts.
Gonna be a spider. I think he's very safe to just armor up and pass.
Slam the face and whirlwind him.
That's lethal. He missed it.
Oh no, D2, you even draw a card off the slam. Second Lava Burst doesn't do much here. Numberguy just has to go back to the drawing board. No Taunt Totem. He has to start back from scratch. But even if Taunt Totem comes down, there's Slam. Slam is important to keep because D2 has Gore Howl.
Oh,
got
and there's
Ragnaros.
Ragnaros.
But he can't guarantee.
Oh my gosh. Do you use Whirlwind or do you use Slam? Because I want to increase my odds to win this game.
I think
you Slam.
Whirlwind is way less flexible than Slam is because Slam might be your way to kill a Taunt Totem if you draw your
that's-
Gore Howl.
That's very true. He does have to think about executes too, though. Is there a chance he needs to activate executes ever? You know, these are very minor things to think about, but he's going to go for Whirlwind, I think.
I like it.
And here it is.
Spin to win,
Senor
baby.
Del Fuego hits the board. Is it Tides's or is it Amaz's? Is it going to hit the right or the wrong target?
Go!
It goes straight to the
Big out.
face, and D2's going to take game one. Wow, warrior density draws at the end are insane. If you get down to an even board, this deck draws so well in those positions. Weapons absolutely being the deciding factor in this game, I think. He was able to clear out so much pressure that Numberguy was going to apply. And then having the brawl at the end to brawl 6 minions away. Alex drops all time, everything. Unbelievable game.
Yeah, really down to the wire, and there was just a few cards left that I feel like could have helped Numberguy out, but he was still really far from damage, and he was very close to dying for multiple turns over. So, explosive way to start off the first game, but Warrior has defeated the Shaman, and now D2 can safely tuck that away and line up his matchups accordingly. Because, you know, the fact that this Warrior exists can challenge the Hunter, because I believe the Warlock was banned from Numberguy, so now he has that opportunity. There's 2 classes, Priest and Warrior, which can take out the Hunter, which seems to be one of the more problematic classes in the lineup of Numberguy.
Yep. Rogue is almost certainly going to be his choice. I'd still like to see D2 stick with Warrior in this game, I think.
I think it's a fine choice to do that.
Yeah. I don't think Handlock's a bad choice either. Like, is your opponent going to queue up Hunter into you? That's a pretty tough choice to make. I'm curious how actually the switch, like, is the switch announced before your opponent chooses their deck?
I think it is. Like, the winner announces the deck, and the loser gets to pick reactively to it.
So let me ask you this: if he announces switch, can he just switch to Warrior? Is that a thing he can do?
What do you
I don't
mean?
think he can do that. So, like, say he announces switch, right? And Numberguy's like, "Oh, he's not playing Warrior. Now's my chance to play Hunter."
Right.
And then D2's like, "Yeah, but I switched to Warrior. Ah, got ya."
I don't
think it's a thing
you can't do that.
Okay, so if you swap, you actually have to swap to one of your unlocked decks. That's what I think is happening here.
Yeah.
That would be a pretty sick move, though.
I mean, if you're playing in a China tournament, I'm sure you could do that. Not in these tournaments.
At WCA, they just would have changed the brackets. They just would have put all the European players in a bracket together, except for one. One would be in a group with 4 Chinese players. Shots fired. Anyways, my prediction, of course, up 1 game. No surprise to anyone. If you've ever watched me cast, I never predict anything wrong ever. But guys, I still want to know what you think. Send us your votes at Frodan, at That's Admirable. I think Numberguy's got to go with Rogue here, though. I think Hunter is just, it's borderline suicide.
There's just too many bad matchups with the Priest and the Warrior just shutting down your early aggression. I completely agree. And the Rogue still has problematic matchups against Handlock, but overall against Warrior and Priest, it can be very strong. So Warrior is the mainstay here for D2. He's going to stick on this and see how much he can get mileage-wise. And Numberguy needs to win with this Rogue deck, and if he doesn't, he's going to be in bad shape for the rest of the series.
No doubt. Fiery Winax. It doesn't win as much in this matchup, but we've seen a lot of 3/3s out of the Rogue deck so far. A lot of decks are running 2 copies of Earthring Farseer and SI7 Agent, so a big difference that card can make.
Keep shield block. Okay.
Wow, he keeps his entire hand.
Right,
Now,
I mean, Deathbite and Fire War Eyes can answer most of the early creatures that Rogue can toss out, but shield block is an interesting and peculiar keep.
Well, he's put together 22 points of damage so far. If he chooses to go the aggressive route, we saw RDU not choose to go the aggressive route, and I'm not sure what I thought about it. D2, and again, this is something that he saw last game. I think that he realized he missed, which was, you know, old Warrior habits where you always armored up every time you had the opportunity to. But the new Warrior breeds do not function the same way. They want to be aggressive and they want to be attacking board positions with everything they have. So, making sure he gets this Fiery War Axe out so that he can develop his Acolyte of Pain and kind of go from here. And this is one of the reasons I think I'd like to see him be a little bit more aggressive, is because he actually has 2 copies of Deathbite. And here we go. I like it. Get him, D2. Punish him.
Well, Numberguy can't really stop that. Otherwise, I don't think he can deny a draw easily.
Yeah,
so he's just going to play his SI7. And he pray his opponent doesn't have Cruel Taskmaster.
Oh, Cruel Taskmaster would be so brutal. He picks up another Fiery War Axe. He's almost got 30 points of weapon damage. Getting Deathbite on board.
Are you serious? It's so funny.
Yes, I love it.
What kind of... imagine he just busts out Frothing Berserker and like Kor'kron Elite out of nowhere, just whips it out. He's going to draw Gorehowl in the next few cards, isn't he? And he just has Gorehowl for the win.
Yep. Oh, Auctioneer picked up. So Auctioneer, Prep, Conceal available on turn 5 for Numberguy. Azure Drake almost certainly going to bite the dust to this Deathbite. Oh, Oh, and there's a Loatheb.
Okay. Now, that is a really important draw to pick up.
I think the D2 is going to continue to push his advantage. I would imagine Loatheb's going to get dropped here. Just keep the pressure high. Like, he's already shown that he can't fight against this Acolyte of Pain. You have plenty of removal spells to deal with everything. I do not like dropping Deathbite to draw a card here. If he replaces that weapon, the Death Rattle will trigger.
Yeah,
I think you just keep his aggression up.
Yeah, it is turn 5, and your opponent's holding a lot of cards. He's calculating possibilities that his opponent might have Guided Hand combinations. You get ahead of it. Shield block. Is it also an okay move because you're gaining up some life, but it is a shift in direction. You're talking about being aggressive and staying in line with what you have, but D2 ends up, I guess, blinking first, so to speak, and he eases up on the gas pedal here.
This is still a totally fine play, too, by the way. There's nothing wrong with choosing to use Shield Block on the armor up here. I think it's like turn 5 is one of your prime turns to play it, so when he chooses to not play Loatheb, I would expect that means he's going to hold Loatheb until a big Auctioneer turns happens and try to make a push after that. It feels so bad to play this Earthenring Farseer.
It does. You know that this this Acolyte's going to start drawing cards again.
I think he's got to do it. He's got to make something happen. He can't just keep eating shots to the face either.
Huh. Whirlwind. Okay. By the way, a lot of the weapon burn has been used up, so I really think.
Yeah, I agree. I think D2 is really considering the options of putting 4 damage to the face anyway, and then using either Execute or Shield Slam to keep his tempo up, and kind of turning his removal spells into effective damage too. I think it's worthy of a thought. Not necessarily that's the play I would make, but certainly something he's going to consider.
Certainly interesting. D2 has slowed down the pace a lot with this, and I think it's because he's afraid of too many cards from his opponent, and if he's spending too much burn to the face, he's giving up his tools to kill off the creatures, and he knows that Numberguy is also playing Violet Teachers and a minion-centric Miracle Rogue, and that's where cards like Whirlwind actually do have a lot of utility. You can draw cards, and you can remove all those pesky tokens.
Yep, Numberguy really taking this game slowly too. He's making sure that he has really big chains on his Auctioneer. So he's not looking to just conceal straight away and then have like something like Loatheb get played and then lose all that potential.
Oh man. Ragnaros could be a big factor if D2 can set up a board where Ragnaros can safely come down, force your opponent to just expend resources without gaining any leverage on damage. Still a couple turns away though.
I wonder what his options are this turn.
Is it a priority to silence this Thanos so that we can deny draws?
I don't know. Really don't know.
I mean, D2 clearly doesn't have a clean answer too, but he's taking his time to think about it. Yep. Is it even worth shield slamming, saving again the life that you're talking about? Or do you feel like you have to save that as another removal option? You already do have Execute.
It certainly is something to think about. Like, this game would have panned out differently had he chose. I mean, there's so many different lines he could have taken at pretty much every step of the way. Mm-hmm. I think it's very reasonable to continue. Like, once you've committed to the game plan of attacking minions, I think it's really pretty reasonable to continue to attack minions. Would be a little bit surprised if he didn't silence this. The only thing that I don't like about this is he leaves Blood Mage around, so like Cold Bloods can become activated this way.
Right. I know that is a problem. As much as you might feel like it's innocent just to have a 1/1, the 5 damage might be the way you can sneak in a lot of big combinations, and that's where cards like Southsea Deckhand is also really useful too.
Here comes Auctioneer. All right, here we go. Picks up a Deadly Poison, so that's going to give him another card.
Yes, Deadly Poison into Conceal, into whatever else he draws here.
So Preparation of Eviscerate. I imagine the Eviscerate's going to be pointed at that Spellbreaker. Yep. Oh, he goes for face. Whoa, actually, he picks up a Cold Blood, too. That means he's going to use his dagger to take this out too. So expending points of his own life to deal 1 point of extra damage. And then Conceal, of course, going to hide away this Auctioneer. Lotheb's going to make sure not much work can get done this turn. I feel like it's not that bad of an idea to clear out this 1-1 right now. I wonder if he's considering using Ragnaros.
Ragnaros coin flip is a little too much to handle for me.
I agree. It's a little bit much. And here I think he should be developing his Fiery War-Axe. Don't know if I like the armor. Anyways, Azure Drake going to make sure he can at least play something. He's going to use Earthring Farseer afterwards. A little bit higher. 4 to the Dome. And this is a pretty scary board position. Numberguy's also picked up another Gadgetzan Auctioneer. Gorehowl. Not the best draw.
So he's got removal options this turn. He can gain life, remove, start pressuring a little bit with Lotheb. It's okay. He's stabilizing to a certain extent, even though he's still lost half his life.
Yep.
Slam not too bad either. It's another way to activate Grommash, so he doesn't have to worry about keeping Whirlwind in the case where he has to use it.
Still got so much. But again, Numberguy, second Auctioneer, is going to have something to say about this game. 5 to the Dome.
At the same time, Numberguy is losing some damage that he needs. He needs minions to be the source of damage now that Leroy's out of the deck.
This is a really tough turn. I mean, it looks like it's really easy to just play Auctioneer and start going, but he's got to figure out exactly what he needs to do, because this might be a turn where, say, you just try to make a big Van Cleef. Like, you just saw an Execute, so I don't think you're always expecting a second Execute. And he's also seen a Shield Slam, so he's not expecting a second Shield Slam all the time.
Right.
If he plays Fan and Knives first, it's almost certain that he's going to try to make a Van Cleef this turn. But you lose so much ground, too, I think, when you're doing it this way. Except Lotheb. Attacks first.
All right. And let's see if, I mean, D2 can respond pretty easily. In fact, this is an opportunity to drop Ragnaros, isn't it?
It certainly is. He has a couple of different options right now. It looks to me like the obvious one is Whirlwind, Execute, and Ragnaros. Which I think that's what he's going to do.
I can't think of another dig in his deck with Slam or to do otherwise. I think this is his best chance, and his opponent is also low on cards. This could be the opportunity for D to take it decisively in the series.
He's going to go for it. He should attack with his axe too. Maximum pressure coming on to Numberguy right now. He's taking 11 this turn, which is going to put him in range for Gorehowl. So if he cannot get out of the 7-point life range or kill D2 this turn, D2 is going to come up 2 games to 0 versus Numberguy.
Yep.
Auctioneer going to hit the board.
This stat needs to draw Farseer, if he's even running it.
I don't know. I don't remember if he's used both Farseers or not yet. I know we've seen at least one.
Right. That's not it.
Sap's going to come in. And now he's used all of his mana, so there is nothing left for Earthen Ring Farseer. And D2 is going to take game 2 with Warrior. Massive weapon aggression. So much damage got dealt with weapons this game.
He used all 5 of his weapons, didn't he? Both axes, both bites, and a Gorehowl. Wow.
Look at that. Level 60 weapons. Too good. 2 games to 0. And this is not a good feeling spot for Numberguy because Hunter is his last deck. Very well played series. I think Numberguy played this really well too. It was just a matter of the weapons pulling so much weight in that matchup. And D2, all of his major turns, D2 had every answer available for it. Shield block, shield slam, executes, whirlwind execute on your follow-up into Ragnaros, and then the final push with Gorehowl. I don't know if he could have really drawn that much better that game, but that's sort of the power of Warrior. You build it to curve out and to really take advantage of weapon leverage, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, you know, the Warrior's able to stay alive for a long time, and there's just no possibility for him to die. Like, we were saying he needs to kill him this turn, but we know that Miracle Rogue can't really do that anymore without that Leroy possibility. because there was what 17, like 20 life worth of damage left, and you can't do that just with Violet Sieges in your deck. So Numberguy is now up 2-0, or sorry, D2 is up 2-0. Numberguy only has Hunter remaining, and D2 has both Warrior and Priest. So this is going to be a massive, massive task for Numberguy to come back in this series. How do you even do this? You need to get Undertaker, perfect curve into Savannah Highmanes.
Yep.
Kill commands when you need it. Huffer on command.
You gotta be chalky to make that many Huffers. It's the only way to do it.
I don't know.
Or you have to be playing against Forsen to make that many Huffers.
True.
Yeah, one or the other. Either way, it's still a big hill to climb, but not unwinnable for sure. But it's going to be game 3, D2 with a 2-0 lead over Numberguy. Are the numbers going to be in his favor, or is the 2-0 lead enough?
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
This opening draw. Oh,
this is so important for whether or not Warrior has a Fiery War Axe. Right, how about Deathbite? Is Deathbite worth keeping at all?
I don't think so. I think you should maximize your chance to get Fiery War Axe this game.
Ooh, especially with that start. Yeah, you need Fiery War Axe.
I think so.
There are removal cards though, for the Undertaker or other cards similarly. It's a tough call to make.
I definitely think there's some merit to keeping removal cards, but when you have the coin, you have 9 cards to draw Fiery War Axe on this one, so you failed on your first 4. So now you're seeing 5 cards. If your opponent doesn't have a strong start, you're seeing a 6th card to hit Fiery War Axe out of a 30-card deck.
So you're gonna keep Deathbite.
I don't think so. I don't think it's good. It's just too slow.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great answer to turn 3 plays from Hunter, but you still need to maximize your chance for Fiery War Axe, and that's not the weapon he was looking for.
Not a very strong start on D2's side. Gorehowl and Ragnaros in opening hand. Ooh, Unstable Wool. That's not a bad one.
It's something to do. It's something to do to stall until Deathbite on turn 4, right?
He's running Unstable Wool and Whirlwind, by the way.
One of each?
I would imagine it's one of each, because we haven't seen them cluttering his hand, really.
So, at least the Unstable Ghoul keeps the board relatively in check. And the Haunted Creeper does end up appearing. Oh, he got Fiery War Axe!
Drew Fiery War Axe. And this is one of the reasons why you maximize your potential to get this card. It is so powerful in this matchup.
I'm just having the voice in League of Legends that says, shut down. Appear over and over in my head as soon as you drive Fiery War Axe.
He's about to get a double kill with it. Leopard Gnome hitting the board, and I imagine it's a hero power afterwards.
And then
a little bit of lag from these players, but again, 2 different continents these guys are streaming from, so it's to be expected. Picks up another Fiery Win Axe.
How is this? Okay, D2 every single game gets 3 or 4 weapons per opening hand within the first 4 turns of the game.
Well, he's running 5 of them.
He's a weapons dealer. That's what he is.
He's an arms dealer. He's just got like a depot behind him. Just grabbing him from the weapon rack. I actually have 20 Fiery War Axes. I just only used 2.
That's insane how he's able to get it every single time.
Acolyte comes in. We didn't. Did I see? Did you see what that trap was?
No, I didn't. I did not.
I like the patience of not attacking here. Attacking here can really make this a painful situation to be in. Say that was a freezing trap, and Acolyte got put back in the hand. It would kill everything he's invested so much into getting card advantage at this point off this Acolyte and this and the my mind is left Unstable Ghoul. So Hunter's Mark going to be able to kind of deny cards, but I'm not sure how much of a difference it's going to make.
It's tougher too because there's a lot of damage still coming the other direction. D2's at 16 health right now. Oh, he picked up Armor Smith. That's an important card. If he can stall long enough for Ragnaros or Alex Strausen to make a big impact in this game, D2 can take the series 3-0. But That's still 3 turns away. Lots of things can happen. A little bit of lag here. I think the stream went down, unfortunately. But I think we're still in the clear. Oh,
wow, he gets Sludge Belcher. Another clutch draw. That's going to stave off a lot of damage. All right, so we know Numberguy's trap is not explosive trap right now. He's able to play an explosive trap. So it's not that, but Slotheb going to fall. Probably, he's going to have, if he doesn't draw something, I imagine he's probably just going to have to use Fiery War Axe on this, which feels really painful, but what else can you do?
Told you, dude.
It's the 5th weapon.
This guy is an arms dealer.
That's not what he wanted, right? I think he wanted to pick up something like Shield Slam or Execute.
Right.
So he's going to fall to 9 here. Armor's going to pick him up a couple of life points. Coin Alexstrasza, I think, is likely going to be the difference in this game.
It very well could be.
It's a big draw. It gets Flare.
He's got Kill Command. He's got Kill Command the first one. If he gets the Huffer? No, he gets Haunted Creeper.
He's only got 10 damage this turn. He actually doesn't even have 10 damage because he doesn't have the mana to do it anymore. So Haunted Creeper, he doesn't even really want to play the Haunted Creeper right now because it can get threatened by the Fiery War Axe, so he would lose 2 extra damage on the kill command.
Exactly.
Oh my.
This is so tight.
Down to 6. He's going to play Explosive Trap here, I think. He uses the bow here, by the way. He wants to push this he wants to push the damage in now underneath the potential of, let's say, like another Sludge Belcher getting drawn, or even like a Hog or a Tazdingo. Acolyte of Pain. Armor up, goes to 8. He's still going to have 1 life. Chooses not to attack.
It's a high main.
Savannah high main. But Alexstrasza is going to be able to play this turn.
Yeah, but it gives him some window of opportunity here. Wow, that high main complicates a lot of things now. Oh, he's gonna test for the weapon, or for the trap, excuse me, with the weapon.
Yep. So
brilliant.
He does this so that freezing trap won't take away any armor from him. So he's actually going to gain 2 points of armor here. So he's at the same effective life. Picks up a card. I'd like to see the Acolyte attack here.
If he attacks, and this is not a freezing trap, like this is a snake trap, and then does that improve his chances of doing anything this turn, like of surviving?
Well, this turn's Alexstrasza's got to come down.
Oh, that's right.
There's no doubt about it.
He's got the coin.
Yeah, the coin making a really big difference here. He's really thinking it through, though. He's trying to figure out whether or not the extra draw can ever matter. So it is freezing trap.
Okay.
Coin Alexstrasza up to 17. D2's got 13 damage available. 16 damage available. He's again 1 damage off lethal.
I don't know if he's worried
about. I don't think he's worried about any counter kill potential, but he certainly has stuff like shield block in mind.
Oh my goodness!
The law of high main is in theory in effect right now. This could be our first disruption of it.
But there is an armor smith out. Oh, he's thinking about whether he wants to kill the armor smith because it is a lot of life gain. He goes for the armor smith.
Oh boy, Frodan, I don't know if that's right.
Oh, D2 needs something big here. Shield blocked, anything to gain life. This high main is still so problematic, though. It's lag again. I don't know what's going on. Cruel Taskmaster. If he doesn't have an execute.
Wow, killing that armor smith actually I think is really good in hindsight. He's got such a big push for damage. I mean, like one of the only ways like the game got run away with is if like a second armor smith was there and like a whirlwind effect.
Right.
Oh, he's just gonna brawl.
Brawl, and if Alexstrasza survives, he can pick off a lot of these creatures. That's his best chance.
I think he's got a brawl.
he brawls, and what's the worst case scenario? 2-2
that
survives.
2-2 lives. Yeah.
And then he gets the shield slam, cool Taskmaster, and then weapon kill, right? That gives him just enough mana to do everything.
Is he going to shield slam first and then brawl?
Also a possibility.
That's exactly what he's going to do. So cool Taskmaster is not going to be coming down this turn if he does this.
So this has come down to Alex Straza hopefully surviving. No,
Alex Straza, the first one kicked out, but not enough damage on the other side of the board now. 6, 7, 8, 9. So he's 3 points short. So even if he draws a beast, it's not enough damage. Undertaker definitely not enough. And now another opportunity. Does he attack with this bow or does he wait? I think you got to attack with it.
This is so crazy. Because in the back of your mind, you're also wondering about not just surviving, but being able to flip it back onto your hunter and be able to kill your opponent. All right, he holds.
Sludge Belcher is a really big draw right now. Doesn't get it. But even still, he can clear this board and go back up to 11.
Nice.
So he'll be just outside of reach of Kill Command, Bow, and Hero Power once again.
And you can even place Acolyte to start drawing once more. Or even start putting pressure back with the weapon. Which also might be good, because he does have Ragnaros, and that is damage to the face.
Oh no. Don't invest life right now. Don't invest life right now. You're so low. Your opponent's obviously holding Kill Command. They've had that card in their hand the whole game. Oh no.
Oh boy.
This could be bad. He is in range of a beast right now. If his opponent draws a beast,
he is going to regret everything about it. Oh, it is a beast! Oh no! That is a big misstep from D2. It costs him the game. 1
point of damage costing him this entire game right now, on the brink of recovery. Wow, Hunter defeating Warrior in a very close battle. A lot of mana stranded inside of D2's hand, but now Numberguy, maybe the momentum has shifted. It's 2-1, and he's got to win 2 more with this Hunter deck, or he's going to be eliminated from this tournament. It's very rare, I think, that you could see an opportunity where 1 single point of damage was actually the difference between potentially winning and losing, but here it definitely was.
That's too bad. It's too bad. You know, he didn't play. I mean, the truth is, it also could have been Animal Companion, and it could have been like a Huffer, and the consequence would have been about the same. But in that scenario, you're absolutely correct. That decision, objectively, was the one that cost D2 the game, and it wasn't as if Numberguy had to make a play, had to make something happen. It was D2 had to give Numberguy the window of opportunity there. But Numberguy is now still alive. He's won a game. D2 still has another opportunity to win this series with Priest. But I've also seen some bad draws with Priest, with Lothar up against, I want to say it was Hyped, and the Priest just was completely powerless to do anything. So if D2's in that position, he only has Handlock versus Hunter.
Definitely not an unwinnable scenario. I mean, I've won it before, but it's a really bad matchup. Not something you want to be facing against. Typically, I think when you can develop an edge over it, it's because they've cut Hunter's marks in favor of streamlining their aggression.
Right.
But that is not the case for Numberguy. We've seen Hunter's mark in his deck.
So I believe the game's going to get started in just a second. Priest just needs the Northshire Cleric to stabilize early game, right?
Yeah. I think so. Northshire Cleric's a really important draw on this one.
All right, let's make it happen. D2 came into the winner's bracket finals with the opportunity to go to top 2. Small little missteps, but once again, he's playing at an insanely late hour, or early hour, depends on how you want to look at it. Must be somewhere around 8 or 9 a.m. for him, and he's been watching as many games as possible. He really wants to make this happen.
Can't blame him for that. A pretty strong opener from Numberguy. Not the strongest, but certainly an alternative. Yep, I'd like to see D2 throw back everything here. Really shaky opening.
Yes. This is a problem that Priest runs into from time to time. And it's more common than you think. It feels like every time you're playing against Priest, they have Northshire Cleric, and every time you're playing Priest, you're the one that's always missing the drops. Just look, there's 3 turns of passivity for D2 right now. But fortunately for him, there's no Undertaker.
Oh, there's Northshire Cleric.
Northshire Cleric.
Hunter's Mark is going to help take this out, but then that's going to let Sludge Belcher get through a little bit more. I definitely think you should be Power Word shielding here. You don't want to open this up to like Coin Bow or anything like that.
Yep. Especially if the next card you drew was, what am I thinking of? Circle of Healing.
Yep.
With this Injured Blade Master. It would have paid off in spades. Animal Companion.
This is one of the
best
cards in Hunter.
He's already got it queued up. He's ready to go. And it's the Huffer. Oh boy, that is a big moment. Now Priest is back to ground zero. They have no early game.
Yep. I think you just play the Injured Blade Master here. You're gonna draw plenty of gas to get through this. So like you play the Injured Blade Master and try to punish him for it. So like say your opponent elects to attack you and then play a minion afterwards. Like you just drew Shadow Madness too. I really would have preferred to see Injured Blade Master there, because if the Injured Blade Master kills this Huffer straight up, I think you're just totally fine with that.
Well, that's funny. He's gonna flare because he doesn't assume his opponent has any traps, because that's not normally what happens. But now
that
he's got
actually
freezing
could be a really big difference in this game. That's funny.
That's really
He's
amusing.
Hero Power too, so he's playing around Shadow Madness also. This is a really heads-up play from Numberguy.
He's got big damage next turn too with Houndmaster coming in.
Yeah, of course this freezing trap is really going to change things though. This freezing trap can. Oh, he's not going to play the freezing trap. So now he's going to play. This is one of the reasons why it confused me. Is if you're going to go ahead and play this now, you could have just done this last turn.
Save yourself the damage.
Yeah, and you drew Shadow Madness too, so you even have a really strong potential turn 4. He really wants to play Houndmaster, but it's just I don't know if that's what's going to get it done right now.
Also, might about playing his minions before Cabal Shadow Priest becomes a legitimate threat to anything that comes out. In fact, he's got 4 minions that can get controlled by the Cabal Shadow Priest from D2.
Yep.
So,
all of them pretty equally bad too.
Yep. This might be the turn.
Champions board.
This is where Shadow Madness might get really good value.
Well, I think here you're okay with Shadow Madness. Like, not. I think you want to use it on like a Houndmaster guy first. Like, I think this is definitely a Sludge Belcher turn.
Yeah.
Cultist could change things though. Like, so Dark Cultist Freezing Trap isn't a bad one either.
Oh, we have some potential for great shenanigans in this game.
And he picks up Iron Beak Owl off of the Web Spinner.
That is important against Sludge Belcher. Wow. That was one of the best scenarios for Numberguy.
This is likely going to get some Shadow Madness value here, though.
Sure.
The question, though, is how you approach this. So you have look how many Shadow Madness targets you have. You can deny a trap. You can take the 1/1s for yourself. You can clear your opponent's... I think clearing your opponent's beasts off the board has got to be one of the better ones. So
do you think it's Shadow Madness or Cabal Shadow Priest turn?
I would think it's Shadow Madness this turn, because if you here's why. So you say you Shadow Madness this 1/2 and run it into the Iron Beak Owl. You're gonna get 2 1/1s. Use Sludge Belcher to pick off his last remaining beast, and then you jam Freezing Trap down. So now you're gonna deny him traps. The Mad Scientist is gonna be back in his hand. Even in the event he plays something like Savannah Highmane, it's just not that bad for you. You can use what you had left to clear the board out of the way.
I take your scenario, I call your scenario, and I raise you another one. You play exactly that. He flares your Freezing Trap and into Knife Juggler. Knife Juggler, unleash the hounds. And he just wrecks you.
Definitely a possibility. This is not a bad option. I do want to point that out. This is a very, very reasonable choice. He's denying traps from his opponent. What he's saying when he plays this is that he doesn't care if his opponent plays Houndmaster, which frankly, there's no real reason to care about it because he does have Shadow Madness in his hand. So, there is merit to denying beast potential, but at the same time, there's a lot of merit to just letting your opponent have it and then taking advantage of it after the fact.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you've been afraid of Shadow Madness for a long time.
I don't know if
you want to start pushing out the damage too as fast as you can. You have the bow.
Your opponent's still at 22 though. I just don't know if this game is like within reach. He really needed a Savannah Highman at some point. He needed Cabal Shadow Priest to not show up. Yep.
Oh boy, Shadow Madness value.
Wow. I'm gonna say that I've never seen a hunter recover from this position. Where a haunted Shadow Madness takes out guy, two beasts.
Heal up.
Yeah, he's even just going to start countering the hero power straight away. He feels so comfortable with his lead. I can't blame him. Starving Buzz. Oh, could he pick up Unleash?
You can pick up Unleash.
Does he have Unleash in his deck?
I want to say yes, but at the same time, I'd rather just watch what's going on. He attacks into his Cabal Shadow Priest, so he wants him to heal and before he attacks into it.
Yeah, which I think is fine.
Not. All right.
I don't think it's like the best play, but
if he gets Flare off of this,
gets his own Eagle Horn Bow.
He's got Eagle Horn Bow and traps. What?
Wow, look at
this.
This
DTwo even makes sense.
Pass. This is like really next level from Numberguy here.
If Numberguy picked up Unleash the Hounds, there is a very fine looking board for him to clear while being able to draw a lot of cards into his high mains.
That actually may have been why he did it this way, is because he wanted his opponent to hero power himself and then try to buy as much time as he can to find Unleash.
He's really afraid of playing these smaller creatures for Cabal Shadow Priest as well. It might seem like, oh yeah, it's great. But they get picked apart, and if they don't get picked apart, they also just get stolen.
It's not even just Cabal Shadow Priest, it's Holy Nova.
Sure.
Any Alkanite shenanigans. Just the fact that if he plays anything, he's basically just giving away the minion. All of those factors really coming into account. Tough spot for sure.
I think you hold, right? But if you hold and then you draw into like Buzzard Unleash, you're giving up the turns to play Undertaker anyways.
Yeah.
I think that's his rationale. Like, this is his opportunity to play these cards now. Otherwise, he's waiting 2 turns, and he might not get 2 turns.
Right. This might just be one of the spots where you just have to hope your opponent doesn't play it right.
Flare.
Jaws Flare is that freezing trap.
That's going to be useful, in fact.
So the Priest's freezing trap is going to get flared away. So the Priest's Eagle Horn Bow is not going to get much value out of it.
Still 6 damage for 3. That's ridiculous. Hunter mirror match.
Here's a good question: is this order of attack? I think he should be using the Cabal Shadow Priest first if he intends to kill both of these, right?
Right. Kill off the Undertaker. You know it's not freezing trap. You know it's not snake. So pop the secret. Use the 1/1 to attack, but then you give him another charge. Plus, you know this is explosive.
So the Priest is going to play this Springleton Tiger that he drew off a web spinner.
This doesn't even make sense.
This game's crazy.
All right. Okay. Flare reveals the Tiger, by the way. If he draws Unleash the Hounds, he's got Hunter's Mark. Oh, man. All right. I was ready for some big hype moments, but it wasn't meant to be.
Yep. Still going to continue to wait patiently.
Also good sequence of the traps. He's got explosive before freezing, right? So he's not worried about...
Okay, so here's what I think D2's plan is when he starts doing this, is I think he's just going to commit enough to the board to be able to kill him in 1 turn. So I don't think he has any intent of actually popping this explosive trap this turn either.
Sure.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time to wait. I mean, he's got full board control. Now he's got 8, 12, He's got 15 points of damage on the board, 2 in hand, 16, 17, potentially 19 with Numberguy Soul Priest. So I think Black Knight's going to find its way to the board next turn, and he's going to make his push.
Numberguy needs to draw his Unleash the Hounds. At this point, I'm starting to think he doesn't have it.
Not really too sure, honestly. I know we've seen Unleash the Hounds at tournament. I don't know if we've seen one from his deck, though.
No, we saw it with Firebat, because Firebat was running... Oh, sorry, Hyped. Hyped was running Firebat's Hunter deck. Well, his other alternative is just a hero power pass like he's been doing, but this traps are the only thing, his bow is the only damage that he can have. If he just chooses to pass.
Oh, it's just hero power pass. That's so gross.
Silence. Not really that useful.
Yeah, I imagine D2 is going to continue to stick to his plan. I think he's going to play Black Knight and pass again. Counting up his damage, though, he's going to get the word that's selling. It's not enough. Wow, he doesn't play Black Knight. What the heck?
Huh? Is he trying to get Holy Fire?
I don't know. There's no reason not to play Black Knight here. Like, what are you going to do with Black Knight?
Kill off Misha. You also see Houndmaster.
Do those even matter right now? Look at your hand. I mean, you have answers to everything.
Yeah, you've got Hunter's Mark, Holy Smite. I can take out anything.
You have Silence in your hand.
Oh, also true.
He's got to play this Black Knight this turn. He's got to play Black Knight or he's got to play Akanai Soul Priest. It's one or the other. He's going to continue to wait. This is
What just happened?
This is just a huge mistake that he's making at this point. He's like, it's tough for him to actually lose this game. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, but this is just strictly a mistake. This is really sloppy play of him not recognizing that he has a plan set in motion, and he's just giving his opponent time to, I don't know, maybe set up something. So I guess with his mindset, it's pretty lucky that he draws Sylvanas here because he didn't have intent to commit to this board. He's still not going to commit Sylvanas to this board. I don't understand.
Numberguy drew his Savannah Highmane, so that's going to be stolen by D2. I think D2's just playing super safe. Oh my god.
This is like unjustified safe. I mean, I have no idea what he's going to do anymore because he could have just killed him by now.
All right, well, he's going to get this back to his hand. I'm pretty sure he can guarantee pick up a steal on the Savannah Highmane. He can clear the board. Just have to match up, line it up accordingly. That's your best chance, right? You don't have Holy Nova with Shadow or Death. That's usually another good way to clear the Highmane.
You could still just silence it too if you wanted to.
Sure. But have it work for you?
Yeah, he's got all the options available to him. This is what I don't. It's like he should have made something happen a couple turns ago because he just had more than enough to go for lethal. He's not even going to steal again. This is something that we see D2. This is the second time he's done this. Is he's missed a couple of steals. So he's actually just going to Holy Smite this if this is his play.
So then, by the way, since you've given him another bow charge, you might as well. Well, I guess he can't. He's going to give up his board too. This has become really weird.
Yeah, I mean, this is just strictly. This is a terrible line of play that he's chosen to take at this point.
Okay, well, he's still so far ahead though.
Yeah, it's still almost impossible for him to lose control of this board though, with the way this is going.
Yeah.
Like this is just this is the nature of Priest. Is once you get, I don't know, maybe this is just one big BM plan from D2. He's just like, I'm just gonna savor this moment as long as I can. You're not gonna beat me, no matter who you are, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, Numberguy. He's just gonna swing. He's like, if you're not gonna kill me, I'll do it for you.
All right, if this Savannah Highmane doesn't get taken, I don't know what's happening.
He still can kill it.
It's
like Hearthstone is encouraging him to steal it. It's like, hey, here's a second Shadow or Death. Try to give him a mind control.
This is just really sloppy play.
Okay, but let's look a little bit here of what D2 can do, because if you kill out the leper gnome, you're gonna give up one of your other creatures, right? You don't care about like injured blade master as much. You want to keep the taunt. That's actually very valuable. The 1/2 health.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I
I'm
would
gonna
use Dark Cultist.
Dark Cultist even too.
Yeah.
Dark Cultist into Shadow or Death on your Sylvanas, right? And steal.
He's really not going to take it.
Okay.
This is very strange.
He still can. I mean, he's still keeping his options open with stealing. Is he gonna use the bow to kill some of these minions too?
I mean, it would surprise me at this point.
I think this is fear coming into play. You don't want to throw away your super large lead. Unbelievable.
Well, this is certainly one of the ways to throw it away, is to not actually kill your opponent.
Is he gonna fatigue him out? All right, play that Lisa Spectral Spider, right? There you go.
Continuing to sit behind the board and do nothing. Well, he's trimmed
Okay.
Unleash the Hounds out of his opponent's range. It's no longer a big threat.
He's got Animal Companion into nothing. He's got Lotheb. Ooh.
He's got Leok. One more Leok and that Shadow or Death can kill that buzzard.
Okay, so if I'm D2, I guess I'm going to Power Word Shield first to evaluate, because clearly killing him is off the table. So we're going to reevaluate off of that. I think he's just trying to exhaust. Like, he's going to only feel safe unless Numberguy has no cards in hand.
Yeah, it's just really strange.
All right, he's got a board clear.
He needed it.
He knows this is explosive, right? There's no other indication. He's played minions. He's attacked. He's traded. So,
He has to know it's explosive. It just can't be anything else.
oh, the only other exception, it could be misdirection. He's never attacked the face yet.
Well, sure. Getting a few more points of life.
Is he gonna steal the buzzard? No, he leaves the buzzard up.
This is so strange.
That is too bad that Numberguy can't capitalize on this passivity. So, Numberguy's been hit by a Mogashan Warden, and he can't kill this taunt creature easily. He's got to use Kill Command to get past it.
I'm convinced that
feels
Mogashan
awful.
Warden. Mogashan Warden's the way to beat Hunter. Let's put it back in the Rogue.
Wow.
Miracle Rogue with Mogashan Warden. Who's in?
I'll tell my boss right away. This is so awkward. I can't believe the game's gone on this long. And that Hunter somehow climbed back barely into the card count, right? Like, wasn't Priest up
Well, sort of.
9 cards to 4?
Still not really anything he can do. Like, if he plays Lotheb, Lotheb's going to die straight away. If he plays Kill Command, he's giving away a beast if he chooses to use it on Sylvanas. He's got to kill this 1/7 taunt in some way. I guess he's just going to try to squeeze in damage where he can. He's got another bow.
Buzzard's gonna attack the face. This is quite...
I mean, he is starting to put something together.
No, he's got 2 kill commands in his deck, right? I mean, D2's getting pretty low.
You have to attack his face. Like, there's no other option here. You have to do something. Okay, he's just going to attack the buzzard. And Black Knight finally comes down. 17 turns too late. Heals himself back up.
He's afraid of the bow charges now. You know, by now, I think Numberguy is also suspecting that his opponent might be holding a lot of situational cards, but he's put him down to 9 health. This comeback can happen.
I mean, if he
We
draws
might
a
be
second
going to
kill
game
command.
5.
Yeah. He's going to hold that Haunting Creeper, too. He just wants to draw a second kill command.
Oh, I am laughing so hard right now inside. I'm admirable because the stream is on delay, so people think the game's already over. People thought the game is already over, even though we're on a 10-minute
prepare yourselves,
delay.
buddies. It's been a long ride.
I come from the future. I reassure you that this game is very real. Wow.
I'm wondering what the spam is going to be because they always come up with something, and there's always like a donger to really get across what my face looks like when I'm in situations like this, and I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, is the Jackie Chan complex look?
Someone's gonna Photoshop D2's face into it.
He's gonna draw cards. I wonder if D2 will seriously fatigue. He's getting to the point where he's so deep into his deck.
I don't know why he's not just.
Now it's like
He's attacking
you
D2.
can't attack. Now it's like you can't attack because you're giving him bow charges. He's got
Oh my
second
gosh, there's
kill
kill
command.
He
He's
can
one
put his
damage off
opponent
lethal. Oh my goodness.
This game is insane.
No, I think you can't play
He's
your
literally
opponent creep.
D2's literally trying to fatigue him. By the way, Numberguy's got 2 cards left. Maybe D2's really trying to just strut his stuff here. He's like, by the way, I can't control the game this long, guys. Just wanted to let you know.
It's a scenario where once again, D2 is like 1 point away from dying at this point, and Numberguy only has 2 cards left. What else can remain that it's gonna be able to put him in that range? Does he have Animal Companion?
I don't know, but like if he chooses to like do something this turn, like he's gonna lose
if he
the game.
Alkanize hero powers, he loses. Oh no, he's got double heal. Okay, so now it becomes like a reach where you have to use another card, like Animal Companion.
At this point, he has to be committed to just never attacking. It's the only plan that makes any sense.
He can Mind Control. Mind Control on the 3/4 is actually not bad if we're going to go with the Fatigue plan.
Yeah, he's at 11.
But then you're
this
not
should
healing.
pinch. He should Mind Control this and just kill the Houndmaster. Then he's out of range because there's no second kill command left. And Numberguy's only got 1 card left. So that should seal it. I mean, you can't be afraid of your opponent pushing for lethal through a taunt and only having 2 cards. Like Silence Leroy, I guess. But he has to know that there's 1 kill command left, so that's not even a possibility.
I think if D2 started from turn 1 and started loading rocks into his catapult and fired it at Numberguy, that would have killed him faster than the method he's choosing.
I've actually killed one of my opponents that way before. Infinite rocks yield infinite power.
If D2 picked up like
All right, there's Snake
the
Trap.
Common Cold, if he picked up Germs of the Common Cold and mailed it to Numberguy, it would have killed him faster than he would have done using his priest deck.
This has to be just the most ultimate BM on the planet. That's the only it's the only reasonable explanation for this.
You're absolutely right. This is the most ridiculous BM that we've ever
He's giving.
seen.
What if he's doing this to be like, by the way, Numberguy, you remember what I did to you at that tournament where I just ran you out of cards instead of killing you? I'm going to do that to you again.
Oh,
and by the way,
my
Forsen, this is a taste of things to come. He's in
If
fatigue.
D2
got
took a shovel and started digging right underneath him, he would have reached the other side of Denmark, popped up, and conceded for Numberguy in order to beat him. Like that's how slow he's taking this game.
Well, he's
This
almost
game
out of
lasted
cards.
25 minutes.
So fatigue being like sort of a real thing.
You know, wait, if fatigue might be the issue and he doesn't attack, if Numberguy just kill commands the face and then D2's taking fatigue damage.
It's still a long way
Right?
away. I mean, he's got to be taking 9. So he's got to be taking 6 fatigue damage before that happens.
No, but he's gonna be. He just has to be taking the damage.
That's
The moment you kill command. So the kill
Yeah, he has
command and hero power puts him at 4.
Yeah, he has to have taken 6 points of fatigue damage. So 1, 2, 3 turns of fatigue is what it would have to be.
Right. And then all D2 has to do is hit him once. D2's counting if you can kill him right now.
No, he's going to kill him next turn. He's going to kill him next turn.
Okay, so if you attack right now, 3, 7, 8, plus the bow, that's 10. plus Akanai hero power. That's kill. He missed lethal. That was a kill.
It's just this is the ultimate.
This is just BM
man.
at this point.
It has to
This
be.
is just BM at this point.
Like seriously, I think I've been talking about how terrible this play was, but I literally think he's just laughing in his apartment and really rubbing it into his face.
DTwo
And
is
seriously, it's like
trolling
this
us
is
right
how
now.
badly I'm gonna beat you when BlizzCon rolls around.
He is trolling so hard. Like at this point, he knows. Like D2's not. He's not.
Every single viewer in Twitch
not
chat is
unselfish.
getting trolled right now.
Yep.
A mere 19,000.
Okay.
There's
Okay, bro. No. You heal and pass, right? Oh my god. You heal and pass. No, don't. Oh my goodness.
This is beautiful. Numberguy's had enough. He's fed up with it. Well played, dropped by D2. I think this is ultimate BM, man. That's the way to do it. Punish him, D2. I thought this was terrible play, but apparently he just had that firm of a stranglehold on this game. That's my boy. 3 games to 1. That's the one who I predict to win. And Admirable's always correct about things like that. So don't think that I'm not. But guys, we got one final match coming up to determine who's going to be the winner of this tournament. Is it going to be Forsen or is it going to be D2? Shoot us who you think's going to win at Frodan and at That's Admirable. We're going to be going to a commercial break pretty soon. My gosh, I have never seen BM that long, that bad in my entire life. That is unbelievable.
Way to shatter a 17-year-old's dreams, D2. All right. Well, you know what? The good news is that these two guys will be playing at BlizzCon. Numberguy ends here, but D2 will get a shot in a rematch with Forsen. We'll be right back, guys, with the grand finals of Battle of the Best. That's right. See you soon.